Gemini, welcome back, or welcome for the first time. It's your man ES the Hermit Star back again with another reading for y'all. And this is your reading for the beginning of Virgo season. I know it's Virgo season, my season, so you know. But of course, I felt the need to read for a couple signs, and you're one of the signs that I'll be reading for today. So, with that being said, before we get into the reading and then the quote of the day and stuff, I do want to tell you what the actual download that I got today. So this morning, actually, I woke up mentally, I was like ready to take on the day. Physically, I was really down. Like my battery was on 3%. And I'm not talking about the battery of this laptop. I'm not talking about the battery of my phone. I'm talking about my internal battery was like super low. And I probably wouldn't say it was 3%, but it was like, it wasn't 50. It was probably in the 30s, I'd say that, and probably like 30 something percent. Nonetheless, I wasn't fully charged, but my brain was like at 1,000%. And like I said, I was just super ready to go. I had to use that to motivate me to even get up out of bed and to do the things that I wanted to do today. Now, I did have 2 cups of green tea, so I could play a part in why I'm so revved up. I just came back from my morning jog, so that could be another reason as to why I'm so, I guess, revved up or whatever the case is. But I felt this this charge of energy yesterday, especially physically, but mentally still yesterday, being the beginning, yesterday being the day before I recorded this video, for those who are wondering, but being the beginning of Virgo season, and I was just supercharged to take control of my life, take control and feel like I was able to step into my power, step into it, step back into it. And I'm like, you know what, that has to be the download, the message that I have for the signs that I'll be reading for today. And Gemini, you are one of them. I just did the Cancer reading. Go over if you have Cancer in your chart, or if you just simply want to cross watch, go watch that video too. But you can also watch your last reading, Gemini. Did a reading for you probably a couple days ago at this point. It was a last week or so from when I recorded it, but nonetheless, you have a reading as well, or another reading. And now you have here. And whether that message resonates with you or not, this idea of stepping into your power is going to, do you good. Again, and you don't have to have Virgo in your chart. You don't have to be a Virgo or have Virgo in your chart in order for you to see the beauty and the wonders of stepping into your power. I gave an example last reading, and the reading I just recorded, and I'll give this example again. I only had to work 2 days this week, but I just felt like it was like stepping into my power. And again, the second day I worked was the first day of Virgo season. The first day I worked was the last day of Leo season. But so those 2 days, I just felt like really supercharged, like really like ready to step into my power. And I saw how it made me feel internally. It made me feel great. I felt amazing, to be honest with you, to do that, comfortably in front of people as well. And also I saw the positive effect it had on other people. It motivated them to want to step into their power as well. Now, not everybody, I said this Cancer, and I'm going to say it to you, and I'm going to say it to another sign that after I do your reading as well, all right? Not everybody is going to like that. Not everybody is going to be motivated by seeing you, or, whatever your sign is. Not everyone's going to be motivated by seeing you step into your power. There are going to be people, especially those in your family, unfortunately, but there are going to be people who are threatened by that, who don't want you to be someone who steps into their power, who want you to continue to belittle yourself or make yourself small so they can seem big. You know what I'm saying? Like, do not step out of your power and let those people win. Okay? And as I stated before, I got that message and I felt like, you know what? This is definitely not only applicable to me, but this is a download that somebody needs to listen to today, whether you are a Gemini or not. This is, once again, the Gemini reading, but whether you are a Gemini or not, have it in your chart or not, or your big three or not, this is a message that I feel like everyone can benefit from. So that was the download. As far as the quote of the day, this is something I don't think I introduced in your first reading. You were one of the first signs, actually, that I started reading for. But I started doing this when I did my other readings, okay? So I usually get I do get a quote of the day emailed to me every single day by Inspiring Quotes, okay? And today's quote reads as this: no amount of skillful invention can replace the essential element of imagination. Now, if you want, and it's also by Edward Harper. I got to remember to quote the quoters of these quotes. But that will always be the pinned comment, by the way, the quote of the day, whatever the quote is, obviously who said it as well. Now, that is to, probably help you process what you're going to hear in this reading. I haven't pulled the cards yet. I haven't even shuffled them yet, so I don't know what your reading entails yet. But, you can engage with the quote. You can decide to just ignore it if you feel as though it has no relevance to you in your life, or it has no relevance to the reading. Whatever the case is, that's your choice. Just want to put that out there, just in case. That's another extra means of, helping people understand or process these readings. Now, we'll get straight into your reading. Let me do the shuffle. All right, and let me do I'm not going to do the Cupid shuffle, but I'm going to do the Spaghetti Junction shuffle. All right, here we go. All right, looks like we're set. While I'm shuffling these cards, one more formality. Personal readings, just email me. You can find that in the description box below. But here's the kicker, and it's always going to be the kicker. Well, it's not really a kicker. I don't think it's a kicker. Kickers are bad, right? Here's the thing. In all seriousness, I will not DM you ever, asking you if you want a personal reading, offering to give you one little free reading, and then you DM me some other, not DM me, but give me money and then I DM you more readings. None of that. Anybody pretending to be me or your other preferred or favored tarot reader claiming to be them is a scammer. All right? Be mindful of that. Be mindful of scammers. Okay? I just had to say that because Spirit say it. Let Gemini know what you want them to know, but that was a whole lot of cards. They want to listen. If they already gave you two here. I didn't know that. All right, let's see if we can get one more. But they giving me a whole bunch of cards, and I'm like, all right, I don't got much space over here. Spirit, you're gonna have to learn to be succinct, and maybe that's the message they want you to know. You got two cards here now. And you know what? This is what I'll take. I'll take it. Boom. All right, let me turn this off. This is being weird. Okay. Flip these cards over. Then take a sip. All right. Gemini. We start with Justice in reverse. This is about dishonesty, vengeance, and corruption. Pretty much. All right. A lot of the stuff that is the opposite of actual justice, right? Hopefully this is not your energy, but I'm not really one to try to talk about others. Well, I do mention others in other people's readings, in their readings, right? And again, if it doesn't apply, let it fly. Again, take it as it resonates. These aren't personal readings. You can DM me for that, all right? And I'll never DM you for asking you for if you want one, all right? But if there's a level of dishonesty, and you have to be honest about yourself, you ain't got to tell me. You ain't got to reveal to the world or whoever else is going to watch this video. You ain't got to reveal to us that you have been dishonest. You have been vengeful. You have been someone who can be so corrupt. You might have some corrupt ways about you. You don't have to admit to it to us. Because the most important you have to admit that to is a most important person. Let me put it that way. Now you have to admit that to is to yourself. If you have been dishonest during this season, Virgo season, whether you have Virgo in your big three or not, it's really important for you to be honest with yourself. And the universe is telling you, listen, you're doing yourself a disjustice, because if this is justice, this is disjustice. Just disjustice, all right? You're doing yourself a disjustice by not being your true, honest, authentic self, all right? And you might be lying to yourself for vengeful reasons. Maybe you was at yourself in the past and something happened and it didn't happen in the way that you wanted it to happen, and therefore you felt like you needed to be this way. You needed to be dishonest in order for you to get what you needed in life, all right? Because right next to it, I do have the four of wands, but it's upright. All right, this is about belonging and being in celebration with folks and wanting some communion. You can say that, and if it applies to you, it applies, but you can say that card, this card, is more so wanting, love, wanting a unionship with somebody. And you probably had somebody within your past. This might be an unintentional love reading for you. Who knows? I go where the spirit takes me. Okay, I don't do intentional love readings. I don't do all that. Again, if you ask for it in the personal reading, you will get that. But as far as here on YouTube, I don't intentionally go for anything other than what I have detailed to you. What I want to give you right now is the overall message that the universe wants you to know for the beginning, or the general message that the universe wants you to know for the beginning of Virgo season. This is your first reading, Gemini. But you may have wanted this in the past, but something happened to where it just made you feel as though in order to achieve that belonging, that communion with someone, that unionship with somebody, you had to be dishonest. And I can tell you from someone who's been on both sides of the fence, the liar and the person who's been lied to, that is not how you get true love, okay? It's not how you get it at all. It's not how you maintain it. It's not how you get it, and it's not how you maintain it. If you are the liar and you end up finding somebody who believes in your lie, the mask is going to slip, and it's not going to be pretty. And it's not fair to the other person. That's number one. And also, if you are on the receiving end, then you already know how it is when you catch somebody being dishonest. So I don't really have to go into a full explanation on that. I don't feel as though I do. If you want a deeper explanation on that, DM me. All right? But after the Four of Wands, this might be what you want. And if you see, I don't have like a really super elaborate camera yet, but on the layout, it's like pretty much the center of this reading here. You have the Justice on this side, and then you have the King of Swords and the Ace of Cups. They're on this side. I'll show y'all those cards in a few. But right below the Justice, you have the Five of Swords. But again, the Four of Wands, this card I just showed you, it's like, and those cards are like this, where my face is pretty much is where, this is. So I take that as at the center of all of what is going to be here. This is what you want. You want a sense of belonging. You want to be in unionship with somebody, whether that be romantically or just with somebody in general. It may not be a love reading. You might not be someone that's like, I don't want anything romantic with somebody, but I would like a unionship, a partnership of some sort with somebody. Whatever that is to you, at the center of this reading, it seems as though this is what you truly desire. But then, as I stated before, you do have the King of Swords, but this this is not how you go about doing it. Once again, this is about dishonesty. King of Swords are dishonest people. You know, these are ruthless individuals, dishonest individuals, and you had this along with it. These both are about being dishonest. Gemini, you have to be honest with yourself. Again, you don't have to tell me. You don't have to tell the world. But you do have to tell yourself. And you do, and if you believe in a higher power, I would highly suggest you talk to them as well, the universe especially. You have to be honest with yourself and ask yourself, if this was my personal reading or even general reading, I would ask myself, why am I a liar? And this is not to judge you. This is not to make you feel bad or anything. This is me just being as honest as I can, but with the intent of trying to help you. I don't want you to identify as a liar all your life, but it's hard to not identify as a liar when you're constantly lying and being dishonest. And being dishonest doesn't just mean being dishonest with other people. It means being dishonest with yourself. In fact, I want you, not that I want you to go around lying to people, but I get the sense that you're mostly lying to yourself. And that's worrisome, Gemini. I'm not going to lie to you. All right? That's very worrisome. I really don't want you to start lying to yourself or continue to lie to yourself if that's the case. You have to figure it out. Why are you doing this? And if you want if you need someone to talk to about it, that's not necessarily a service that I provide, but go ahead and shoot me a message. And go ahead and shoot me a message. Meaning it's not a service I provide, meaning I won't charge you just so we can shoot the shit or whatever, and we can try to process this thing. Because I truly do want to help people when I do these readings. This ain't just about getting these readings out. This ain't just about a talent that many people have told me that I have, especially when it comes to tarot and all this other stuff. This ain't just about, rendering my services for a fee. This is about helping you all. So if you want to shoot me a message and you're like, Ernest, I saw your message the other day, your general read for this sign, and I struggle with this. I'm no professional, but if I can help you in some way, shape, or form, I'm going to do so, whether you're paying for it or not, whether it's a service that I provide a price for or not, okay? I will suggest that if you want better help than me, you will go seek professional help, people who can better help you with processing these things. But sometimes just talking to somebody else. If you don't have anybody else, I'd be that for you. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes that will help out. But you're not being honest with yourself, and it's not really, I don't think it's wrong to assume, that you're probably dishonest with people as well. And this is what you truly want, connections with people, but then you're dishonest. Okay? You can't get that connection with people if you're being dishonest, because a relationship built off lies, like I said, I'm speaking from experience here. I'm not speaking from judgment. I'm speaking from experience here. Any relationship, romantic or not, when it's built off of a lie, there's nothing good that's good that can come from the situation. I'm not going to detail you personal stories, not in your personal or your general or even personal readings. I will share things like I've been through here, but number one, it's going to make the reading extra long. Number two, this is about you. When I bring myself up in these readings, it's to let people know that, one, I ain't perfect, and two, I've been there, and I can tell you from experience, this is what I experienced, whatever that situation is. All right? You want to know more about me, again, you can DM me and we can, whatever. But after that, though, we do have 5 of Swords, okay? This is about reconciliation. I can't even speak. reconciliation, compromise, and resentment as well. But let's focus. Let's focus on the aspect of reconciliation and compromise, okay? How this relates to your reading thus far, because you do have one more card that's sticking to my arm. But no, you do have one more card after this. But how does the Five of Swords in reverse fit into this reading? Maybe it has to do with, again, it has to do in it. This is a beautiful card, not just by its looks, but how it is positioned in your reading right now. I'm just really like in awe about how it's in the center of the reading, because it makes it so easy, at least for me, to understand that this is what you want out there. I'm speaking to some Gemini or somebody with Gemini in their chart. This is what you want out there. All right. If not everybody watching this, somebody out there wants this at the center of their being right now. And yes, I had to go in on you being dishonest. But this at least shows that there is a bit of desire from you to want to stop lying, to not, be dishonest. And again, dishonesty meaning with yourself and with other people. I think most importantly, you need to work on being more so honest with yourself. Not to say, once again, that lying to people is okay, but lying to yourself isn't. But I found it, again, in my personal experience, I found it that the more honest I was with myself, I found it easier to be honest with other people. It doesn't necessarily work the other way around, or at least not from my personal practice. It was, I have to be real about myself and where I'm at and why I am lying and why did I lie about this, or why do I feel the need to hide this, or why do I do X, Y, and Z, or whatever the case was. I had to be honest with myself, and then it just became easier, once again, personally speaking, for me to say, you know what, I'm going to be honest with other people, and if they don't like it and I don't end up getting this unionship, whatever that is, with that individual, then so be it. There's somebody else out there who I can create this with. Because I think that, and this is just me personally speaking before I get into your last card. Personally speaking, I think the reason as to why you've been dishonest is, as I stated before, you truly want a partnership with somebody. All right, that's a beautiful thing to desire. But you, for some reason, and I said this at the beginning as well, but for some reason, you think that people knowing the real you would never desire, you would never get this if people knew who you really are. And I'm here to tell you right now, Gemini, there is somebody out there who's gonna love the F out of who you truly are. Somebody out there that's gonna give you this. But you have to be able to truly love who you are first before you can get this with somebody else. These aren't the same two people in this picture. So it's not like this is you loving on you, even though you should be loving on you. It's not you and you. It's you and somebody else, right? But you won't get there if you don't love yourself first. And loving yourself first is, again, being honest with yourself. But there's other ways other than being honest with yourself, but accepting yourself. And I think a big part as to why major part as to why you might be dishonest with yourself and therefore dishonest with other people is because there are aspects of yourself that you haven't really accepted yet. There's something about yourself that you truly haven't genuinely accepted. Again, you don't have to reveal these things to me in the comments. You don't have to reveal it to the other people. It's more important that you reveal these things to yourself and your higher power and seek that guidance. I don't think that was, the anywhere in this message. I don't see it. Maybe this is it, because like I said, it is about compromise a bit. And I did say I was going to bring up the compromise aspect. But I'm thinking, like, if that is relative to if compromising in general is relative to this reading as well. I ain't gonna lie, this card is kind of throwing me off. But if it's relative to this reading, in any way, shape, or form, it's you need to, maybe the whole being dishonest, maybe you've built up such a character or such a facade, let me put it that way. A character facade, I do want to use both words actually. So you built up such a character and facade about yourself, Gemini, that it's going to be hard, like, to be honest, because this facade, this character that you've built up about yourself, you're kind of comfortable with. You know, it's not who you naturally are, but you're comfortable in it because that is, again, the mask, the outfit, the facade, the character that you've been living for so long. It's going to be hard to just cut it cold turkey and do a total reversal and live the life of, you know, someone who went from a liar today and then a truth teller tomorrow. So when it comes to compromise, now I'm thinking I'm getting it. When it comes to compromise, there might be a certain level of, okay, if you have to slowly wean yourself out of this mask or out of this facade, do that. However long it takes for you to reverse this energy, do it. Because if you truly want this, like I said, that's where compromise is coming from. Ooh, thank you, Spirit. Check this out. I'm just going to keep it short and sweet with this one. You want this, right? You want this partnership with somebody. Again, romantic or whatever. You're going to have to compromise that facade. Because it's either you keep the facade, right? And lose this, or you gain this and you lose the facade. That seems like that's what what Spirit is saying. Thank you. That's what it is. So Gemini, you're gonna have to decide what that is. You do have one more card. I'll get into that, but you're gonna have to decide what you want more. Do you want this unionship more, or do you want to live in that protective facade that you may have for yourself? Again, you ain't gotta tell me. You ain't gotta tell the comment section. You ain't got to tell the world. But you do have to tell yourself. Alright? Last card, we do have Ace of Cups in reverse. Now, this is pretty much about repressed emotions. And that can happen when you're lying to yourself about how you feel about things. Alright? This is about feeling unappreciated as well, and like just overall indifference, but just having repressed emotions is, you know, the top meaning of this card, okay? As I stated before, that can happen when you're not being honest with yourself. Being honest with yourself is being honest about how you're feeling. How are you feeling watching this reading right now? Be honest with yourself. Again, you ain't got to comment. You ain't got to tell me. But you got to tell yourself, how are you feeling? Let's start from there. As far as the aspects of unrepressing, if that's even a word. But let's start from there. From revealing your emotions. Tell yourself. Answer this to yourself. And if you want to comment that below, by all means do so. I'm not going to say don't do it. But I'm saying you don't have to do it. But I'm here to ask you, how are you feeling right now watching this reading, Gemini? I'm going to take a sip of water and give you a few seconds, because it won't take me a minute, but a few seconds to ponder on that. Now that you may have came up with that answer, and even if you haven't, feel free to pause this video, take some time to think about it. Heck, go for a walk. Where I'm at right now, real sunny. All right. I'm glad the weather is finally Well, I can't speak forever. It's a beautiful day today, but I do feel like fall is upon us, and I'm kind of sad about that. But either or, yeah. But I can admit to that. I can. I'm not repressing my feelings on that. I love the summertime. I love the summertime. And my birthday is, again, from when I'm recording it, is next week. I would love to have a birthday because I do have my plans and everything. I would love for it to be nice that day. Not cold, not rainy. Nice. You know what I'm saying? But I'm here to admit that. I'm not going to be like, well, I'm just now. Will I find a silver lining? Yeah, if it rained that day and I wasn't able to go out and do the plans that I have for myself, there are other things that I can do. Heck, there's the next day. It's not like a God willing, of course, but it's not like on August 31st, I can't do the things I was going to do on August 30th. It's not like I can't do that. But this ain't about me. This ain't even about my birthday. This is about Gemini and what the universe wants you to know for the beginning of because it's not Gemini season, but it is Virgo season. Ayo. But no, seriously, it's about what the universe wants you to know, Gemini, about the beginning of this season. All right, that's your reading. Quite the intense one, a bit, but it's all for your greater good. You know, you got to be honest with yourself. And as I stated before, if this is what you really want, the compromise that you're going to have to do is to get rid of that facade that you have. Because like I said, something tells me the dishonesty that has showed up in your reading is you not being honest with yourself and in turn not being honest with people. You have gotten away far too long, probably in my opinion, not probably, in my opinion, I think you have gotten away far too long with having a facade of what you want people to believe you are and what you tell yourself that you are. But it's come at the expense of you creating a connection with somebody, either again romantically or not, a meaningful connection. And at your core, this is what you want. This is what you desire. So, if you want this, you got to let go of the facade. If you're much more comfortable with living that lie, this is gone. I could have tossed this out the window. I'm not. But just to symbolize what it is, it's gone. Or I could toss your facade out the window. All right? You're going to have to do. All right? Not me. You. If this is your reading. This is not my personal reading. I already did my personal reading this morning. I didn't get this message. All right? This is about you, Gemini. So, best wishes for you. Once again, if you do, well, not your personal reading, but it's your general reading for someone out there. If you do actually want a personal reading, you can email me, and there are 2 packages. I'll inform you on what those packages are, and we can go from there as far as scheduling a personal reading for you. Okay? Beware of anyone claiming to be me or any other tarot reader that you might partake in. We do not DM you. You DM us. Anyone claiming to be us is a scammer. They're a liar. Alright? And they're lying to you. So if you know, especially you, Gemini, if you know how bad it is to feel to be lied to, you should understand that lying to others and lying to yourself is just as terrible. Okay? You're scamming yourself by not truly being who you are and keeping up that facade that you have built up for yourself for some time. And again, if that resonates with you, you know if it does or not. I don't know you. But you got to be honest with yourself. If it resonates with you, it does. If it doesn't, then I'm glad that it doesn't. Because nobody, Gemini, Aquarius, whatever your sign is, nobody should have to feel like they have to live a lie in order to attract partners in their life. Nobody. And if there's anybody who makes you feel like you have to, they're not the person for you. You're not going to get this for them. In fact, they don't deserve this with you. They shouldn't be one of these people with you. The person that should be standing right next to you should be the person that makes you feel like you don't have to live a lie in order to have that with you. All right? So, that's what I got to say to you for this reading here. And until next time, until next reading, Gemini. Y'all be well. Peace out.